In 2020, so TPG Growth acquired SmartSweets for a whopping $360 million, which was only 4 years after the company was founded. What was that experience like for you? And also noting that that happened kind of right around the beginning of the pandemic too. So there was a lot going on in the world. What was
Yeah.
that experience navigating that for you?
Yeah, we never met them in person.
Wow.
To this day, I actually haven't met them in person,
Wow.
which is kind of wild to say out loud. But yeah, it's just like COVID and then the new normal. From day one with SmartSuites, I always knew that at some point I wanted to partner with a multinational or a global company that had the distribution systems and the facilities to expedite the pace that we could scale. So for me, I always had clarity that I want SmartSuites to be a legacy brand that my grandchildren are enjoying, and I felt like at some point that path would make sense. So we were coming up on, it was our 4th year existing in the world. We were tipping the 100 million in annual revenue mark. And I really felt like for the first time, I couldn't see around the bend anymore. And I really always tried to have the lens of asking myself, how am I best serving the business and how may I be holding the company and the mission up? And it was asking myself those questions in year 4 where I was like, wow, whether or not I find a partner, I think a new CEO would make sense to serve us to get to 200 and 300 and 400 and then tens and tens of billions of sugar kicked for consumers. So that conversation was going on in my mind. And then also it just seemed like it was a really good time in the business where we needed to break a lot of the systems to be able to build them for that next stage in growth. And having a partner who had been around that bend of really taking a company now from the startup stage and adding some more sophistication to it so that you can execute on a global level made a lot of sense. And so, yeah, that decided, had a mentor who was amazing. Her name's Janica Lane. She's an investment banker and has been really involved in the food world. And so partnered with her and then started kind of like dating to find that best partner.
Right. And so, building on that, what advice do you have for people that are navigating a similar scenario and looking to partner or exploring M&A kind of scenarios?
Yeah, I think like the best time to always, in my opinion, start and have like clarity is when your cap table is like free reign, and that is always at day one. Whether you have a solo founder or co-founder, having clarity on like what your vision is, and like if at some point do you want to be acquired, do you want to IPO, do you want to run the company privately forever? There's no right or wrong, and you can change your mind at a later time, but having that clarity serves you really well. So for me, that was really helpful because then I was like, okay, whether this happens in year 3, in year 5, in year 10, I really want to focus on SmartSuites being profitable. So we always had a really amazing EBITDA, which when it comes to being acquired is hugely important. Your like top line revenue now is nothing unless you have solid EBITDA to back it up. So I think just going back and having clarity there, and then for me as well, having clarity on that I want to honor everyone through that informed the decision of every single employee having equity. And I never created a separate class of shares, kept it as common shares. So everyone was truly sharing in the benefit where when the transaction happened, our customer service rep on the kind of lowest part of the totem pole was still able to buy their dream car or make a deposit on. So it truly authentically served as a lily pad. So I think really getting clear on like, what is your vision for path, and what do you want your cap table to look like in terms of honoring team? For you, do you want freedom of time and energy? For me, I always knew I wanted to keep majority of the company, so I had control of being able to say no if I wanted to and follow my gut as we were growing. So just really getting clear on those things as early as possible, I think serves really well.